Hi, this is Jeannie at TrendyTree, and today I'm going to show you how to make a sunflower wreath using a 10-inch pencil wreath. We're going to use 2 rolls of deco paper mesh or paper mesh, and we'll use part of a roll of some lime green deco poly mesh for the leaves. I've already cut my pieces, and the first thing I'm going to show you is how to fold your leaf to go around your wreath. This is the lime green poly mesh, and we cut it in lengths. It's about 10 inches wide. We cut it in lengths of 17 to 19 inches. I might cut one 17, and I cut the next one 19 because my leaves don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. But to make the leaf, you see how the poly mesh has a natural retention about it. Well, you turn it over on its back, pull the opposing corners, and then roll those pieces, other corners to the center and make a leaf. You hold it in your hand like that, pinch it up, and then choose. We're going to start, the leaves will just go on the outer ring. Open up a twist, lay the mesh down and secure it a couple of times, and you see your mesh just sticks out that way. Well, you want that mesh to make a point, or a V rather. So squeeze it together there, and it will hold it for a little bit. Of course, it's going to flop back out, but as you add more leaves around, it will hold its shape better. And then to make the petal, we cut our mesh into 10-inch pieces. And this mesh, this is not Craig Bachman paper mesh. This is another company, and there's only 5 yards on a roll, so you will need 2 rolls. You're able to get 17 cuts of a 10-inch width on one roll, so you're going to need 2 rolls. So that is already cut, and you turn it over on its back. You don't pull this on the bias. You just pull one corner to the inside, pull the other corner to the inside, and then pinch it up, and you have your petal. You flip it over, and you have that natural where your edges turn under. And then you're gonna lay this under your twist and lay this right down on top of your leaf. And that's the way you do a petal. And then you push those leaves to the outside, and they will hold their shape a little better than the poly mesh will. But you want those leaves to point to the outside like a V. Then we're going to go around the outer ring with a layer of leaves, and then we're going to come back on top of the leaves with 2 layers of petals. Now, I wanted to show you what we're going to do for the center too. I'm going to make my wreath today on a burlap wreath just because we reuse our materials again. So this wreath has been used several times, but I wanted to show you how we took the center and filled in the center with a crossbar of chenille stems, because you're going to need something to attach some extra petals to. Now on this wreath, I've gone ahead and I've gone around the outside with my green deco poly mesh leaves, and I've done 1 round of the paper petals. And now I'm ready to go back and do my second layer of petals. I just have 1 more to attach here. Okay, and you attach your petal and point your, push your tips to the outside. Form your next petal. Now we're starting on our second layer on the outer ring with our second layer of petals. So you have your leaf and 1 petal. You're going to undo that twist again, take it down, and lay that second petal right on top. You're going to re-secure that twist, and this is the last thing that we're going to use this twist for, so we're going to poke it to the inside and get it out of the way. So now, push those petals to the outside. So you can see in that twist we have 1 leaf and 2 petals on top. Now we're just going to continue working around the wreath. Okay, now we've gone around our wreath with our second layer of petals. So now we're going to move to the inside. We're going to just continue on the same way. And I think I will just do 2 petals as I go. Just remember to undo that twist and lay that second petal down right on top. Twist it back. This time you can give it 3 or 4 turns because you're through with that twist after you get that second layer, and then you can poke that twist to the inside. Okay, I cut 17 curls or 17 petals off the first roll, and right now I've cut 10 off the second roll. I'm not exactly sure how many I'm going to need, probably until I get finished. But we're going to continue working around the center ring right now, and then once we get it completed, then I'll show you how to fill in the blank space in the middle. Okay, now we've gone around our wreath now with 2 layers of petals on the outer ring and the inner ring, and you can see how much of an opening we still have here. So there's different ways of filling this in, but what we're going to do first is go ahead and, at least on this crossbar, put at least 4 more petals to fill that in a little bit more. If you're using a different size wreath frame, that's something to always keep in mind, is how big this center is that you're going to have to fill in with something. To attach our petals to the center of the crossbar, of course we don't have any twists, we've used them all, so I'm going to make a twist out of a chenille stem. I just cut it in half and I'm going to lay it on top of that. And we'll give it a twist, and then I'm going to put that down right on top of one of those crossbars and attach it. I'm going to attach it from the bottom. Now just that way I'll have less of the chenille stem showing. Push those leaves to the outside. Looks like I'm going to have to cut another petal or 2. It's easy to reach your hand up under this one and secure it from the back. Push those petals to the outside. I've got one more. Looks like I'm going to need another cutting. Okay, I had to cut one more, so looks like we used about 28 pieces of the yellow mesh. And we did have, we had to get into the second roll, but we didn't use it all, so we've got some left over. And you can see that we made our opening in the center smaller now, and now we just need to fill that center with something. Okay, there's different things that you can use for the center. One thing that you can do is a ornament ball. This is just a black tinsel styrofoam ornament that we sliced in half. If you wanted to, you could hot glue this, or you could put a wire in it and secure it to the center. We've done that both ways. You could use that. Now, if you do that, you might, when you put your center in there, you might see that you might need to fill in another gap with fill in a gap with another petal. You can do that easily enough. And like I say, you could run hot glue around this and attach it, or you can use a floral pick that you hot glue in and then wire to the center. The other thing that you can do is, we've used these before. These are like a twist ball tie. We have them in several different colors. We have had some black ones that worked really well for this, and we'll have some more later. We just don't have any right now. We've got several other colors, but the principle is the same. You just wire them into the center using your little cross piece, and depending on the size of your balls, how many you need, and so forth, but you can use something like that for the center. Now the other thing that you can do also, if you have like a floral spray that's like maybe a spider mom or something like that, that you could snip one blossom off and fit it in the center. Today what we're using is this new tinsel garland. It's not tinsel garland, it's flex tubing. It's like flex tubing, but it's tinsel, and it has, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of hairy like, and we just made a pom-pom with it, which fell off. we made a pom-pom and just put it on a chenille stem, and we're going to attach that to our center and see how that works. I'm just going to flip it to the back so I can secure it easy. I like that. There we go. To make a pom-pom, you just get a piece of cardboard and wrap your ribbon, or in this case tinsel tubing, around it. I think I probably used about 5 yards for that, but you just wrap it around there and then you slip it off the end of the cardboard, holding on to the bottom, and then you slip a wire or something through that bottom and secure it well, and then you can either leave the loops intact or you can go back and snip the loops. And this one I snipped the loops, but there's 20 yards to a bag of this, so you can get several off of it. But that's what we're using for the center on this one. And of course, you're going to have loose strings. You got to go back and get those loose strings off. Okay, we took some of the extra foil and just made some leaves to hang down from the bottom, just to give it a little more color down there. And I also added some of this brown velvet roping. Of course, it looks kind of funny right now, but I'm going to use it to just give it a little extra texture. And the way that easy way to curl this wire roping is just wrap it around. This was just a core from the mesh, or you can use a broom handle, but anything like that. Slide that off. I like to, on the ends, kind of roll that up in a little bit of a knot to cover up those cut wire ends too. But just do that, or you can just wind it around your hands. See that? Here's our finished sunflower. And if you decide you wanted more leaves, you could always go to the back side and add more. Go back, clip your strings, and always check your back. Make sure you don't have anything sharp from the twist or anything that's sticking out that would, scratch your wall or your door. Thank you for dropping by. Please be sure and subscribe to our channel so you can see our next tutorial. Thanks again. Bye-bye.